Marquette area of Michigan. But
these days, it seems like everybody's got a Cherokee or an Explorer. Me, I like to stand out a bit.
That's why I drive a Subaru Outback.
With a big cargo bay and all-wheel drive, you get all the sport utility you need. But with the smooth ride and better gas mileage, the Outback is far from ordinary. Like me, really. What a weird-looking bunch that was.
Test drive the beauty of all-wheel drive at a Subaru dealer near you.
Now, your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
You are spending this Tuesday under rainy skies in much of the Northeast. Good afternoon and welcome to Weather Center, sponsored by Pontiac. I'm Jill Brown.
And I'm Dan Atkinson. Parts of the Ohio Valley are seeing their own share of precipitation with a wintry mix in the upper Midwest. We'll have those details in a moment, but let's start in the Northeast. It's a messy day for those of you in the Big Apple. The wind and rain makes umbrellas and raincoats a necessity if you're headed out. Today's high will only reach into the mid-40s. The rain should begin to move out just in time for your evening commute. Well, you had to deal with icy roads and sidewalks this morning in Worcester, Massachusetts. Light freezing rain slowed down traffic as well as pedestrians. Temperatures will slowly creep up this afternoon, so the icy threat will be over, but use precautions as you head home this evening. And we put the radar into motion and show you the area where there is widespread rain from east of Philadelphia, covering pretty much all of New Jersey, or most of New Jersey, as you can see, right on up through New York City and toward Boston. Light rain for the most part, occasionally some moderate rain as you're getting now around Worcester. And as you get into the areas north of this zone, you do have temperatures cold enough in some cases for still some light freezing rain, particularly in those valley areas where some of the Arctic air that has covered the Northeast in recent days is still trapped there, and the rain is falling into that sub-freezing air. And the result is still some glazing on some of the roadways. So be very careful as you travel through western portions of Pennsylvania, or western portions of New England, I should say. At this hour, you're getting a rain-snow mix in Portsmouth, Maine. Also some light rain in Montpelier, Vermont, and light snow in Burlington. Temperatures across the northeastern portion of the country will continue to be right along the marginal zone here. So from now through midnight, watch out for areas of icy weather with some wintry mix possible along portions of I-95. Connecticut River Valley could still see some icy weather with some freezing rain, so beware of that if you're traveling through those areas of New England. Taking the wider view, a radar showing the conditions drying out for you for now across Pennsylvania after rather wet weather yesterday and last night in particular, and also some light rain primarily back along the New York State Thruway. There's the potential for some flooding over portions of western Massachusetts, western Connecticut, also southeastern New York State. This not so much a result of recent rains, but the ice melt. Your temperatures have been a bit above normal, at least not so much in the past few days with the Arctic air in place, but overall the past several weeks you've had, of course, your January thaw. And temperatures now are above freezing in Boston, well above in New York City where you're 53, Elmira 40, Pittsburgh 46 degrees. And speaking of Pennsylvania, let's show you what it was like today when Punxsutawney Phil earlier today was the focus of attention as hundreds gathered in Gobbler's Knob in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. Phil the groundhog emerged to make his yearly prediction, and thanks to cloud cover in the region, Phil did not see his shadow, which means, of course, we don't have to worry about 6 more weeks of winter. It is said that when the groundhog doesn't see the shadow, then, of course, spring is just around the corner. Well, here are some of the furry forecasters around the country, and in the Atlanta area, General Lee didn't see his shadow either. So actually, 5 out of these 6 groundhogs voting for an early spring. Sounds good. Incidentally, this being Groundhog Day, we're being shadowed here at the Weather Channel by some young students from Junior Achievement, and glad to have them along and seeing what it's like in the weather broadcasting business. 47 degrees the temperature in Atlanta, 70 in Tampa, 77 now in Miami, New Orleans 63, and across the south generally tranquil conditions. There is a front making its way eastward, not a lot of moisture to work with, but it will likely begin to pick up some steam and with greater chance for some showers tomorrow over parts of the south. Today they're primarily dotting Florida, and there will be a chance for some showers for you off and on during the day in the New Orleans area. Right now you've got a break, but some more showers are beginning to spread in from the south and west. Jill?
Okay, thanks, Dan. Those of you in the western Great Lakes are dealing with light snow showers today, courtesy of a cold front in that region. Let's check the current conditions, and you'll notice that actually looks like it's moving out here pretty quickly, and most of these locations are actually reporting rain. That's something that we've seen a lot of this year. The snow line way far north, it's difficult to find any place where the temperature is cold enough for snow, even in Oshkosh and central Wisconsin, where they're still reporting snow at this hour, although it's not showing up on the radar. Temperature is slightly above freezing, so the roadway should be in pretty good shape. Around Marquette, it is snowing, and here it is below freezing slightly, maybe about 31 degrees at this hour. The rest of this is rain, and you can see that on our surface map. Ahead of the front, the warmer air, mainly rain. Behind it, a sliver of snow. We won't expect to see much accumulation, but it is feeling a little more like winter. Temperatures may not be quite where they typically are this time of year, which should be in the teens throughout most of this region. So 30 in Fargo is not bad. Minneapolis 28, but factor in a brisk wind and it feels like 13 in Minneapolis, 24 in Bismarck, and 13 in Glasgow. Could be worse. As a matter of fact, it is worse. As you head west, this darker blue area indicates where winds could be gusting to 50 miles per hour today. We have a real stiff westerly wind, and the downsloping winds typically pick up in one of those spots is Livingston, Montana, where I think that's it right there, 76. We have had wind gusts in the 70s here, so typically through here we're getting wind gusts of 30, 40 miles per hour, but Livingston is getting the strongest.
That's 1-800-742